Stop everything you're doing, because what has just happened could become one of the biggest political twists in Nigerian political history. Yes, Peter Obi's name has reportedly been uploaded to the INEC nomination portal. But here is the question that has left millions of Nigerians confused. How can Peter Obi's name appear on INEC portal when a federal high court had earlier ordered the deregistration of the NDC? Did INEC ignore the court order? Did court reverse its decision? Or is there a legal move happening behind the scenes that many Nigerians don't understand yet? Now, before you celebrate, or before you panic, or maybe before you believe everything you see on social media, I want you to watch this video until the very end, because today's development may not mean what many people think it means. The truth is far more complicated, and the next court decision could change everything. Stay with me, because the end of this video, you will know exactly what happens, what the law says, what could happen next, and whether Peter Obi's name can still be removed from the INEC portal. Now let's begin. Everything changed within a matter of hours. Reports began circulating that Peter Obi's name had been uploaded to the INEC nomination portal by the Nigerian Democratic Congress, popularly known as the NDC. So almost immediately, social media exploded as usual. Some people declared victory. Others insisted that upload meant absolutely nothing because of the Federal High Court judgment. So supporters and critics began making bold claims. But before emotions take over, let's focus on the facts and facts only. So according to the NDC, after the Federal High Court delivered its judgment, ordering the deregistration of the party, it immediately filed an appeal. The party also filed an application asking the Court of Appeal to stay the execution of judgment while the appeal is being held. Now, the NDC says it was after taking this legal step that it regained access to the INEC nomination portal and Obi's name was uploaded. Now, that single action has raised one question across Nigeria. Does this mean legal battle is over? Not so fast. Because what happens next may surprise you. You see, many Nigerians believe that once a candidate names appear on the INEC portal, the battle is finished. But that's not necessarily how legal process works. You see, uploading a candidate's name is an important administrative step. However, it does not automatically settle ongoing court cases. A legal dispute can continue even while administrative process can move forward, depending on the orders made by the courts. In other words, today's upload is very significant for the NDC. But it is not necessarily the final chapter. The real battle has now shifted to the courtroom, and that's where Nigeria's political future could take another dramatic turn. This is the biggest question everyone wants answered. Can Peter Obi's name still be removed? The answer is, it depends on what the appellate court decides. You see, if the Court of Appeal grants the application for a stay of execution or later overturns the earlier judgment, that could strengthen the NDC's position while the appeal continues. However, if the appeal is unsuccessful and the earlier judgment is ultimately upheld, the legal position could change and INEC would generally be expected to comply with the final court decision. So despite today's dramatic headlines, the legal process is still unfolding, which means neither celebration nor panic is justified at this stage at all. The court, not social media, will determine the final outcome, but that's not even the biggest twist. This question has generated enormous debate online. Did INEC ignore the court order? At this stage, there is no verified public evidence that INEC simply ignored the court order. The NDC says it notified INEC that it had filed an appeal and application for a stay of execution. The party believes those legal steps justified continuing with its nomination process. And INEC has not publicly provided a detailed explanation for restoration of access to the portal or the nomination portal. Until there is a more significant clarification, it will be premature to conclude that INEC acted unlawfully. This is exactly why many legal experts say Nigerians should allow the court complete the legal process before drawing final conclusion. But here is where the story becomes even more interesting. Several possible scenarios could unfold. First, the Court of Appeal could grant the stay of execution. If that happens, the NDC could continue participating in the electoral process while the appeal is heard. Second, the appellate court could later overturn the earlier judgment. If that happens, the party's legal position will be forever straightened. And third, the Court of Appeal could uphold the lower court's decision. And if that happens, the new legal questions could arise about parties' participation and its candidates. Whatever happens, the next court decision will be one of the most closely watched political developments in Nigeria. One ruling could change everything. Peter Obi's name has reportedly been uploaded to the INEC nomination portal by the NDC. The party says this followed its appeal and application for a stay of execution. But the legal dispute has not yet reached a final conclusion. And that means the story is far from over. The appellate court will ultimately decide what happens next. And as new developments emerge, we will continue bringing you verified facts, balanced analysis, and timely updates. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any important political developments. Now, over to you. Do you believe the Court of Appeal will overturn the earlier judgment, or do you think the Federal High Court decision will ultimately stand? Please share your thoughts in the comment below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers and have a wonderful life. Bye.